Welcome to Entertainment, the channel that promises entertainment but never delivers any. Today we'll be looking at 10 of the lamest reasons given after losing any sporting event. We all know the stories about how the Cubs blamed that GOAT for not winning the World Series, and the Red Sox blaming the trading of Babe Ruth to the Yankees. But this list will include less known events. I know that athletes want to find blame in something other than themselves in order to feel better and continue their careers. But how can they seriously give these reasons with a straight face? I wonder if they ever think about it when they're all by themselves, just thinking, it couldn't be me, right? It has to be something else. Anyways, if you enjoyed this video, please give it a like and subscribe down below, and make sure to turn on those notifications. And please let me know in the comments if you know of any other stupid reasons that were given by athletes. When the Mexican national soccer team made it to the final of the Copa America in 2001, they thought that it would be their best chance to finally win the cup.
Aguantó, hay peligro otra vez, Batistuta, dentro del área, el disparo, gol. Y parecía que...
They were up against the host country of Colombia during a dangerous time in their history. For example, Argentina refused to attend the Cup due to the threats against their commission. Mexico lost the final, and many fans and broadcasters floated the idea that Mexico lost because they were threatened that they would be killed if they won the Cup.
Muy buen pase, gana espalda de los defensas Aristizábal. Amaga pegarle fuerte y toca abajo sutilmente. La pelota da en la base del vertical. Allí Kim Murillo. Iván Ramiro.
Muy bien, viene Colombia, Dios mío, Colombia.
As evidence, people pointed to the parachuters that landed on the field before the game, where one of them almost took out the Mexican goalie.
Bien Heriberto Ramón Morales, un paracaidista tarde, es increíble.
No, van a ser dos porque hay viene otro en el aire, pero entraron dos hace pocos minutos, pero hubo un retraso y ahora dos paracaidistas más están haciendo su arribo cuando recién inició el partido, y ahí viene un tercero, por cierto.
Pero muy mal, un acto irresponsable, viene un tercero.
Qué golpazo
se estrelló y se estrelló en los anuncios y con la prensa.
Y bueno, entró un cuarto paracaidista y este por poco arrolla a Oscar Pérez, el conejo.
Back in 2013, Nick Diaz fought George St. Pierre and lost. Then 5 years later, he claimed that there was a diabolical plot against him, where he said that he was poisoned with some kind of weird drug. His brother Nate also claimed that GSP was a steroid user during his fight, and that's why he won. Nick tried to prove the steroid claim by stating that the testing was not done correctly, since if the tests were done adequately, he should have tested positive for weed. Given all this, he said he was in the best shape of his life, but his body failed during the fight because of the plot. Chris Eubanks was the undefeated super middleweight champion back in 1995. When in 1995, his challenger dropped out, so in stepped Steve Collins. Collins decided to play a trick on Eubanks by enlisting a guru and telling the press that he would be hypnotized during the fight. They took this even further by having Collins just sit in his corner listening to his headphones while Eubank entered the ring during the fight. He did not move at all, which made it seem even more real. All this made Eubank go a little crazy.
Has had a hypnotist
with a match made of 12 stone over 12 rounds, delivering a fine impressive record of 28 wins from 31 contests, 16 inside the distance, and making the scouts.
He said that he did not want to fight someone who had mechanically altered their mind and protested profusely. In the end, Collins won by unanimous decision and won again in the rematch by split decision. Not only did Eubank blame hypnosis for his loss, but Collins said it was a hoax the entire time. They got in Eubank's head and beat him twice. The former Bellator light heavyweight champion Emmanuel Newton faced off against Phil Davis in 2006 at Bellator 142. He was defeated via a first-round submission. The reason for his loss? According to Newton, is the fact that he had sex just hours before the event. He said that his kicks were affected because of the bedroom action that occurred 3 to 4 hours before the fight. Studies in the effects of sex on athletic performance are seriously lacking. But there was a paper in 2016 where they compiled the results from 9 studies and suggested that sex has no real effect on performance. Also, it is well known that Olympians have so much sex during the Olympics that they run out of condoms. Quentin Rampage Jackson is a very strange person, and he gives some of the weirdest interviews I've ever seen. During one of these interviews in 2012, is where he stated that he believes he was poisoned before his fight against Kazushi Sakuraba in Japan. He said that he was heavily promoted in Japan before the fight and believes that he was poisoned by a restaurant that he might have visited before the fight, since Sakuraba was really famous in Japan. He tries to offer evidence of the Pride FC history of fight fixing by also stating that he was told that he would be given a bonus if he got knocked out or didn't tap to a submission. Damn, they wanted to see some pain, huh? The Sri Lankan cricket team had a very Seinfeld reason for losing their 2001 championship trophy final. You heard it right, they said that their clothing was too tight. One player stated that they had to add extensions to their trousers and that the shirts looked more like tight-fitting women's blouses. This has to be one of the lamest excuses ever. Also, you can stretch most fabrics out, especially athletic wear, so this doesn't make any sense. I honestly admire Sir Alex Ferguson, who was the head coach of Manchester United for many years. That is, until I started working on this list. Apparently, during a 90s match between Man U and Southampton, Manchester was down 3-0 at halftime. After the team came back, everyone was shocked to see that the team had changed their uniform. They were basically blaming their jersey color for their poor performance. Ferguson eventually stated that the original grey color did not suit their players and they had trouble picking each other out. They eventually lost the match 6-3, so this excuse was total BS, obviously. Alright, so these names are pretty hard to pronounce, but Zambian tennis player Leighton Nedefowel had some very stupid reasons for losing a match against Muzumba Baiwala. He first started insulting his opponent and then stated that he lost because his jockstrap was too tight, which is something that he should have felt as soon as he put it on. And the second reason was because Musumba was also farting. He said that the farting made him lose his concentration, which is something that he is famous for. This is such a weird technique to win, but I guess it works. Johnny Weir was a very famous figure skater who took part in the 2006 Winter Olympics in Turin. He was a heavy favorite to medal in the games, but he completely failed to live up to the expectations. His reason for losing is truly sad, since he said that he never felt his inner peace and didn't feel his aura in the building where the events took place. Just imagine blaming the energy from an inanimate object affecting your performance. This has to be one of the dumbest reasons ever given. The New York Knicks had a game in 2010 where they lost by 20 points to the Oklahoma Thunder. Apparently, they lost because they had been haunted by a ghost that ruined their sleep the night before their humiliating loss. But according to other teams, there is a history of this happening at the Skirving Hilton to basketball players, where Effie the housekeeper roams freely. Even a player from the opposing team acknowledges the fact that the whole league knows about the ghost. I just think that it's a league-wide joke that players tell to explain their bad performances. Cause come on, it's ghosts. They're not real. I don't think I would be able to come up with a reason for losing at anything other than just saying that my opponent was better than me that day or I didn't perform at my best. Any other reason would just make me look bad, especially when you know that players like Michael Jordan played with a fever and still managed to win. Thanks for watching this video. See you next time.